Hi, and welcome to my channel again. This is Peter, and we're going to do a holiday special for you on eating do's and don'ts that you should do throughout the holidays. It's going to be compiled of a few different things. What I did was I took a walk down the grocery store and showed you a few little things, some tidbits you might probably enjoy, that probably be helpful for you, that you might not know, or would be interesting for you to keep an eye and watch what you're eating when you're going throughout the holidays. Don't forget, as we are bodybuilders, we do go through diets and or a competition season when we have functions, just like everybody else. You know, we'll have our Thanksgiving, birthday parties, Christmas, New Year's, and all kinds of interesting things that comes along. But we still have to kind of watch what we're eating and kind of sway away. And you know, we have to just sort of diminish some of the things that we might want to treat ourselves to. So you don't have to do that, but you can probably cut down a little bit on what you're eating, and not as much. But I'm sure some of the information you find on here today that I provided for you, you're probably going to find it very interesting. So do stay tuned afterwards. We will have later on some more interesting ideas and some tips on from bodybuilding as well, on some diet and nutrition that will be coming up as well on my next coming couple of videos. Okay, so let's take a walk down the aisle to the grocery store. Here we go. Here I am at the grocery store, grabbing a chicken here. So, people don't realize the best chickens you can actually get are the rotisserie chicken or baked chicken. But especially for the holidays, you don't want to keep yourself to more of the chicken of the rotisserie chicken or the baked chicken, because all the fat and the grease does get to drip off and you don't have to eat any of that. So if you look on the nutritional value, it's actually very good. Calories aren't bad. It's like per serving 220 calories. The saturated fats are fairly low, only 4 grams. Sodium, like you have to watch that, is 390 grams of sodium, and the carbohydrates is low, is only like 1 gram. So in terms of that, it's pretty good. Again, it's a very lean choice in terms of chicken and your meats, because it's very lean, fats are very low. All right, so let's move on to the next aisle. I'm now here in the fruit aisle. So the bananas. Bananas are very good. They're very good, healthy for you. They do have a lot of potassium in them. They do have a lot of natural fats and sugars as well. So you do have to be cautious on how much and how many you eat of them. So the other thing that we're going to be here is, besides the nuts here, one of my favorites that I like to get usually for snacking is almonds. Now on the almonds are pretty good. They're very low in natural fats. So if you look on the content here, it's very good. Now this one does have some good potassium. Calories is 280 grams per serving. The sodium is 40 milligrams. Now I do like to get the unsalted ones, which are usually better. And the fats here are pretty low on the almonds. So, you know, you're always pretty good. Saturated fat says here 2 grams. So if you look onto the other ones here, on the mixed nuts, almonds and so forth, and then they have the cashews and so forth with them, you're going to see here that, you know, the saturated fat is going to be a little bit higher, but on the other nuts, they are a little bit higher on the fat content. Calories are 250 grams per serving. And again, the sodium here, it's pretty good. It's like 5 milligrams. Again, you do want to keep to a unsalted if you can. That would be the best choice. And the almonds, like I said, are about the leanest unsalted for your diet for this holiday season. So keep a watchful eye on the nuts you're eating and, you know, your sodium content. Okay, let's move on to the next aisle. We're here now in the vegetable aisle. You have peppers, green peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers, orange peppers. Very nice and very colorful, so it makes it very palatable as well. Very lean on the calories. You have also tomatoes and cucumbers. Very healthy choice. Calories are very low, and it's good for the diet as well. So, you know, those are very good choices to make in terms of, you know, snacking over the holidays. You go to like a party and then you have like some kind of dips. Be careful with the dairy dips, but you have these sometimes the peppers and the carrot sticks and so forth, celery sticks to chomp on. Those are pretty good. So I would pretty well stay with those for the choice and keep it low on the calories for this holidays. Okay, let's move on to the next aisle. Here is one of our biggest nemesis, potatoes. A lot of heavy starch in your potatoes here, a lot of heavy carbohydrates. very not that easy to digest and process. You will store a fair bit of that since you won't be using that many calories and the carbohydrates to burn off during your daily period. So especially over the holidays when you may be having like steak and potatoes, mashed potatoes and gravy and so forth, that's going to be taking quite a bit of a toll on you. So again, keep the potato count low if you can. Again, it's a very heavy starchy product. Starches are very high. You're going to be storing a lot of this. So if you can keep that down to a minimum, it would be good over the holiday seasons. Okay, let's move on. Here's the next aisle that's also a nemesis to us for food and bodybuilding is rice. Very heavy starch, very heavy in the carbohydrates area. So not really a good idea, especially over the holiday season. Like I said, if you can keep an eye on it. But even in general dieting and your nutrition, rice will maintain and keep your weight on and put on extra weight. The carbohydrates and the starch, like I said, are very high in this. So if you can keep it down to a nominal, this would be great. Much healthier for you in the long run, and you don't have to worry about coming up to that time of the year, January, February, again like 25, 30 pounds. Over the holidays, you got to try and join the gym and peel it all off. So this is a good idea to keep the rice and the carbohydrate starch down. All right, let's move on to the next aisle. You can also use these onions, garlic to spice up your food. The calories are very nominal on this. You know, you have ground garlic, minced garlic. Those are always very good to use. It'll give you nice flavor. So hence the boredom of your food being very bland. And you can spice it up. It'll taste very nice. And you don't have to worry about calorie consumption this much. So, you know, this would be a very good choice to add to your food in terms of flavor. Okay, let's move on. Now here's one of the famous style a lot of people like to use and buy a lot of these products, which is soups. Soups are very underestimated. Now a lot of people do buy soups thinking it's very light, it's very good, it's quick and go, it's a very healthy choice, it's got a lot of healthy products in there, but no, big mistake. If you look on any of the soup cans, you will notice here that the contents on here are not very high in the calories. Sure, the cholesterol and so forth, fats are down, but then if you look down, you're going to see also in the product, you're going to find very high content of sodium. 800 milligrams of sodium per serving in this can, and this is soup. So, you know, when you go to one of the coffee shops and you buy soup or chili, you have no idea. Those soups and chili per serving will have 1,500 milligrams of sodium per serving. And that's a daily consumption, one full day. And that will maintain you and bloat you with a lot of water retention. A good bulk of your weight, like 60% of your body mass and your girth, is not what people think it is, not all fat. 60% of it is fat. The rest of it is all water retention, and that's due to some of these products like this with all the salts and dairies. You bloat with a lot of water, and you'll notice that in time if you keep on having a lot of those products, and you'll see, you know, creams and dairy and these high sodium. All right, so that's it for this one. Let's move on. Now here we are in the non-dairy section. This is almond milk. I don't like to use dairy products because it does bloat you quite a bit. A lot of water retention, and you will also have mucus buildup from the excess in the dairy. Now the lactose will do that to you. On here you'll see there's quite a bit of vitamins, nutrients and so forth that's in here, potassium, but the calories are very low. There's no dairy in here, and you don't have to worry about fats and so forth because this is very nominal on here. So this is a very good choice, again, in terms of using with your cereal or you need to flavor up something. This one I like a lot because it's vanilla flavored. Calories are only 80 calories per serving, but again, it's vanilla, and it'll give you a little bit of flavor to whatever you're using without having to worry about the excess water and bloating, water retention from the dairy products. Okay, next aisle. Now this is one of my favorite aisles. You go down here, you're going to find carrots, beets, broccoli, celery, all kinds of wonderful vegetables that are amazing products that'll help you a lot with your diet and your dietary needs. It's very good for the system, body. A lot of greens is very healthy as well, and a lot of nutrients, very low in calories. It's not that easy for you to gain any kind of weight with any of these products. They're very clean and a very healthy product again. So this is one of my favorite aisles to shop in. Let's move on. So here's the infamous chips and pop aisle. Potato chips. and the chocolate bars on the end. I'm not even going to comment on this one. This one is a definite no-no, and I don't even have to comment. All the sodium, carbohydrates, that's a big joke for you for this holiday season. Now, you are going to be tempted. You are going to have lots of those. Do be very careful. Use your discretion and cautious on there, because you can put on quite a bit of weight just from those chips. Now, here's another infamous one we're going to take a look at is the pop. Pop can be very notorious for sugars. Now, on here, if you're looking, you know, the calories on here is 140 calories for Coke, and the grams of the sugars is like 39 grams of sugars per serving, and again, that's pretty high. And again, if you're doing mixed drinks, you're drinking a lot of pop, again, that's a lot of consumption for sugar on top of everything else you're going to be eating and drinking as well. So do be careful on this holiday season, because this can put on a lot of weight. And yeah, I will be seeing you at the gym, maybe training you to have you pull off some of that weight come January and February, and that's when the gym gets the busiest, and takes a lot of your money is that period of time of the year. All right, so that's it for this section here. Now, I'm just going to touch on something here. This is water, obviously. You do want to remember to keep a lot of water in your house and drinking a lot of fluids during the holiday season, especially if you're going to be drinking. You'll be very dehydrated. Hangovers, headaches, dehydration. You won't be able to think properly. You'll be very exhausted, very tired. Everything will be thrown right off whack. So keeping water in your system is very healthy for you. Remember, over 95% of your body is water. When you drink a lot of coffee, a lot of alcohol, you dehydrate yourself and you don't have any kind of fluids replenishing it. All right, let's move on.